Sometimes it takes just exposing a person to a single opportunity that can change their lives, and you might never know it, but that person will always remember you because you exposed them to that opportunity. And that's how I go around my day. If there's anything that I can expose someone to, I want to do so that it could potentially maybe just change their lives.
If a guest comes in and they've had a horrible day, they're going to talk to you differently, they're going to treat you differently. But if by what you do and how you make people feel, that can maybe change the outcome of the rest of their day.
Empathy is a big superpower for nurses. So I think for the leaders, it's very important to look at every opportunity and every encounter as a way to impact the people that we're meeting. I had a teacher that I used to work with send an email. She was, "Hey Melissa, I was just remembering you. You'd always in the class, always smiling, wearing all these bright colors." And for her to find my email like 5 years later and tell me about me, how she felt when I was there, it felt very good, very heartwarming. But yeah, it's just like you sometimes don't notice how you make other people feel until they then tell you about that.
It's at the core of being an educator for me. That's why I believe every educator out there could be a great leader. I got a Facebook message from a young lady that I taught in second period 10 years after I taught her. And she said, I don't know if you remember me or not. I did, because I had to wake her up every day. And she said, I'll let you know I'm graduating with my degree in nursing today. And it's because during second period, you cared enough to tap me on the shoulder every morning.
Wow.
And so when a kid, an adult, leaves your presence and they think that you saw something in them that they didn't see themselves, that's why leadership matters.
I think it speaks to the power of leadership and those that have inspired us and those that we inspire. I think Roland's got the perfect antidote to this. There's proven history that the way we treat our teams and our people is how they're going to treat their people. How you treat your guests in a restaurant is how you treat your teams in a restaurant, is how you can expect that team member to treat your guests. And so this whole idea of how a leader leaves people feeling, to me, is really critical.
A leader looks for the potential and nudge around them, and to your point, taps them on the shoulder because they might not recognize it in themselves.
So as a chemist, we have a saying that if you are part of the solution, you're part of the precipitate and should be filtered. So as a good leader, don't let yourself be filtered. Let yourself be part of the solution and let the people around you feel they helped create that solution.
I think we talk a lot about sincerity and authenticity, but over time it creates trust. And in leadership, you have to have trust, you have to gain trust and give trust. And so it's been my experience that that's the key to success, of building trust over time as quick as possible. Love it.
It's honesty. I think leaders, we're pushed to always toe the company line or always be probably positive, but when it's not positive, be honest. That's how you continue to build trust.
From a leader perspective, though, I have to figure out, how do I communicate effectively with all the generational challenges, with all the differences, and be able to meet the needs of every generation within that small area. And it can be very, very different because communication is very different. What drives each generation is very different. And the way, even just for recognition and having that ability to call out the good work may look very different depending on who is talking to.
But the old phrase of do it my way or the highway is long gone. And to listen to Roland as he runs his businesses is really impressive. He's empowering line cooks, he's empowering dishwashers. I think there's enormous change of leadership in today's talent. And to your point, what's expected? There's a lot of different expectations that the younger generation has today, and in capturing the hearts and the minds and the wallets of that generation is really important.
I mean, I've heard it here. You're changing people's lives, and how do we inspire the younger generation that this leadership is changing people's lives? It's not just my way or the highway or telling people what to do.
Well, I do think, from being a Gen Z, I think we do need to a lot of leaders as to, why you should move up, you should be that leader. I think the more experienced generation is very much like, yeah, like this is my next step. This is what you're gonna do now. Whereas like, mine, like being a leader, like it's such a heavy weight behind it. Like you start to question yourself, like, am I ready for that? Can I take that on? We definitely need to hear more experienced people like saying, yes, you got it. That is you. That is your role. So
Yeah.
go.
Wow, what an amazing group of alum. What a conversation. And that could have gone on for hours.
Yeah.
Provost, what are your thoughts after just taking all that in?
It was wonderful to hear from a group that spans so many ages and different types of experience. And one thing that I expected to hear from the older leaders, but I was a little pleasantly surprised to hear from our younger ones, was the importance of mentoring those that are coming behind you, of providing opportunities, of passing on the knowledge that they had gained. I think that mentorship is a really important part of leadership.
Yeah, for sure. How about you, Anastasia? What were your takeaway?
So I really enjoy the conversation about resilience and tolerance for obstacles, and I think that's what a lot of what we do here at the university, right, is we help our students learn, we help them grow, we help them become resilient. They learn to, in your words, do hard things, right?
Recover from failure.
Exactly.
Absolutely, I love it. And so this is why we have made a commitment to leadership. And today we are very excited to come together and announce today we are launching the University of North Georgia Leadership Foundry, a unit within academic affairs that will curate leadership experiences for every student on every campus. This isn't just for students on a certain campus or in a certain program, every student on every campus. And by the fall of 27, we will have this executed at scale. So I'm also incredibly excited to announce that Dr. Anastasia Lynn has agreed to be our interim director of the Leadership Foundry. And under her leadership, we will build this organization to scale and deliver for all of our students. So Anastasia, thank you. And just give us a quick snapshot of what this next few months is going to look like.
Sure. So we know UNG has amazing leadership opportunities already. My team and I are looking at how do we unite those? How do we supercharge those? How do we scale them up? How do we make sure our students are not only learning about leadership in the classroom, but also practicing it, getting those experiences where they can get their hands dirty and really figure out what leadership means to them. We want our students to lead in leadership, right? Not just be told what it is, but demonstrate it and really understand it.
Absolutely. Provost.
I am so excited about the opportunity that this provides for all of our students. We have prided ourselves on being a designated leadership institution. We are putting those words into action in a way that we never have before, and it's absolutely thrilling.
Absolutely. So thank you to my teammates. What a great conversation. Thank you to our alumni, and thank you to all of you for believing in the mission and work of the University of North Georgia. Stay tuned. The Leadership Foundry is going to change the game. Stay tuned, see how you can be involved and get plugged in, and we appreciate all you do to support us. Thank you.